are dead are suspected of being added to the state's votes and vote count. Our first guest this evening at the forefront of that legal challenge, and joining us from Nevada, Rick Grinnell, former acting director of national intelligence, senior advisor to the Republican National Committee. Rick, this is, as I said at the outset, this is becoming quickly a national disgrace. Give us a sense of what is happening in Nevada, what progress you're making.
Well, look, thanks for having me, Lou. I guess the message that we're trying to say is everybody just needs to do their job. We have a lot of people kvetching and talking about the problem, but not a lot of people that are doing their job. I'll give you an example. We've been working today on a lawsuit, and we held a press conference today in front of quite a few media there. I have to say probably more than 100 people. And they basically said that they wanted us to spoon feed them all of the problems of voting after we highlighted a few examples. And they were unwilling to actually go in and do any of the work themselves. I used to be a press secretary, and 20 years ago, journalists actually did some digging on their own. Mm-hmm. They just weren't looking around the room looking to retweet or recycle what somebody else said. So I instructed my team here in Nevada to not only work on the lawsuit, but also to do the job of what journalists are supposed to do. So we put together, through mostly publicly available information that newsrooms should be looking at, and we quickly found more than 3,000,
if I may,
3,060. Let me get to the point, Lou. 3,060 people here in Nevada that voted illegally. They are not residents of Nevada. They did not meet the residency requirement. This is easily available information that the media should have found. We found it today. We are releasing this. These people potentially could all be violating federal law.
May I interrupt you here,
we are going to ask DOJ, and we're going to ask the FBI to look at each one of these.
If I may, you're going to. This is Thursday. You were filing a legal action today against those fraudulent votes. Has that been filed? Because you're complaining about the press instead of telling us what you're actually getting done. As you said, you have a job to do. I'm interested in what you're doing about your job. You have no reason to expect whatsoever, experientially, that media would be any more helpful, fair, or intelligent on this story than they would any other for this administration.
Well, let me be clear, Lou. I would have had the letter out to DOJ and the FBI if I wasn't sitting here on your show. But I committed to come on your show, and so we're holding it to double check it. That letter will be out within, let me just say, 90 minutes, so that it gives us a little bit of a cushion time. That letter will be out. The lawsuit will be filed within the next few hours. We're putting together big, large pieces of information, and we have a small team. And so, again, when I complain about the media who have large teams, I think this is quite appropriate. We are going to get both of those things that I described out tonight, and you will see them.
Okay, great, and it's urgently necessary that we do just that. But the legal aspect of this, as you well know, is far more important at this particular urgent moment. And we're watching some rather checkered judgments in other states. Are you confident that you're going to be able to successfully legally challenge those votes and get a decision straight away?
Well, you're asking me to predict what a appointed judge in Las Vegas is going to do, and I can't do that. What I can say is that we're very confident that we are putting together a very good legal challenge to the reckless throwing out of mail-in ballots that clearly government officials, should have checked against registration rolls and lists of people who were dead and residency requirements. There's a whole bunch of easy checks that government officials should do, and they should do their job. They didn't do their job. And by the way, There are plenty of people in Nevada, like Adam Laxalt, who raised these red flags early on to say, if you're going to mail out a plethora of ballots, you need to have a system in place that's going to check the legality of each vote. There's a difference between a ballot and a legal vote. And the Democratic Party here in Nevada has literally blurred the lines between anyone who gets a ballot, somehow it's a legal vote, and that's not true.
Rick, I know you can't predict anything, but I sure as hell hope you're trying to shape the outcome. And we'll leave your complaints about the national left-wing media.
We just want the truth
to a memoir, because you may not get it. You're not getting treated fairly. The president is facing a fight that increasingly looks like a lone wolf to deal with all of this. Where the hell are Mitch McConnell? Where is the Republican Party? Where is Ronna McDaniel? Where aren't they out? Why isn't the Republican Party en masse demanding the Department of Justice move in here? It's been absent for the entire process. Can you give us an answer to that?
Look, what I can say is some of those individuals that you just mentioned have absolutely reached out and said, what can we do, and are fully involved.
I'm not asking for little sweetheart letters. I'm asking, why aren't they demanding the Department of Justice step into a political crime as it appears obviously to many? Thank you, Rick, and I will do just that.
Yeah,
and thanks, Rick, for spending your time with us, and I apologize for delaying your legal action. Rick Grinnell, former DNI. Up next, where is